As we step across the threshold of age 60, life no longer revolves around numbers or years. Instead, it becomes a deeper journey, one of self-understanding, inner calm, and a more intentional way of living. This isn't the end of the road, it's an entirely new chapter, a chapter where every decision you make can carry the weight of wisdom, the richness of experience, and the kind of clarity that youth often overlooks. After decades spent working, building, giving, and sacrificing, now is the time to pause, reflect, and begin a process of gentle decluttering, not just of your physical space, but of your spending habits, your material surroundings, and even those small, silent burdens that have slowly weighed down your spirit. Many people continue the same patterns into their 60s, shopping out of habit, spending money on things that no longer align with their true values. Sometimes it's out of routine. Other times it's because no one ever stopped to ask, do I really need this? But if you're reading this now, perhaps something inside you is already whispering, it's time for a change. Your 60s are not the time to live for the expectations of others. It's a moment to live authentically, to be honest with yourself about what truly matters. It's the time to question every purchase, every bill, every subscription you once thought essential. Because when you begin releasing the unnecessary, both physical and emotional, you open the door to a deeper, quieter sense of freedom. Some may assume that talking about spending less means scarcity, but in reality, it's an act of dignity. It's about learning to let go of what no longer serves you to make space for what truly does. You don't need a wardrobe full of new clothes to feel confident. You need a peaceful relationship with yourself. You don't need a new phone every year to feel modern. You need a heartfelt phone call from someone who truly cares. You don't need luxury travel to find meaning. Sometimes a quiet afternoon on your front porch, listening to birdsong is all it takes to feel at peace. By 60, you've gained enough life experience to know the difference between what's fleeting and what's lasting. So why not start with your wallet? Ask yourself, what does your spending say about your values? Are you still buying things out of habit, not out of real need? Do you still believe that the next item you purchase will bring you happiness, when deep down you already know true joy doesn't come from what you own, but from being unburdened by it? The question isn't whether you have enough money. The real question is whether you're using that money to build a more meaningful life, because at this stage, time is more precious than cash. Every morning you wake up healthy, every evening walk you take unassisted, every night you sleep peacefully. Those are the true riches, and while you can't buy them directly, you can create the right conditions for them to flourish. That begins with learning to say, I don't need more, I already have enough. We live in a world where consumption is often seen as the measure of success. But the beauty of being over 60 is this: you're free from those expectations. You can choose a different way to live, one that requires no approval, no validation from anyone else. You just need to feel calm in your heart and content with what you already have. The journey of no longer buying what you don't need isn't a story of deprivation, it's a return to simplicity, a return to a life not driven by advertisements or trends, but by wisdom and self-awareness. You'll begin to notice that expensive things no longer bring the same thrill, that flashy decorations don't offer the same warmth as a genuine look of love from someone you care about. And when that realization settles in, you'll know this is true maturity. In the next part of this journey, we'll take a closer look at specific things you might consider letting go of, not to reject life, but to refine it. Each item is an invitation to redefine what happiness means to you, to discover that freedom isn't about having more, it's about needing less. And from there, each small decision you make will lead you toward a lighter, wiser, more fulfilled life, not because you've added more to it, but because you've taken away what no longer serves you. You've lived long enough to know that not everything is worth buying. Now you deserve to live deeply enough to only hold on to what truly makes life worth living. In this section, we'll take a clear and honest look at the things you might want to stop buying after the age of 60, not to reject life, but to refine it. Each of these choices is an opportunity to redefine what happiness truly means, to understand that freedom isn't about having more, but needing less. And with every small decision, you can open the door to a lighter, wiser, and more fulfilling life, not because you have more, but because you need less. You've lived long enough to know that not everything is worth buying. Now, you deserve to live deeply enough to keep only what truly makes your life feel whole. And if you're ready, let's move into the next part of this journey, where we begin to explore the specific things you may want to stop investing in, so you can start investing in the one thing that matters most, yourself. Mark 1. Trendy fashion items. At this stage in life, comfort, simplicity, and suitability matter far more than flashy style. You don't need to buy expensive clothes just to keep up with trends that change every season. An old but cozy sweater, a soft dress that fits your body, these might bring more confidence and comfort than any designer label ever could. Instead of chasing fashion, invest in quality and how the clothes make you feel. That's true luxury. 2. The latest tech gadgets. Technology evolves every year, and trying to keep up with every new device can be exhausting and expensive. If your current phone still works well, why replace it? Ask yourself, what do I really use it for? Making calls, sending texts, taking some family photos? If so, a simple user-friendly device is often more valuable than the latest complicated and pricey gadget. 3. Unnecessary beauty products. There is a unique beauty in your 60s, the beauty of experience, calmness, and wisdom. You don't need to spend money on countless creams, serums, or whitening products just because an ad promises miracles. Instead, nourish your skin by getting enough sleep, eating healthy, and staying mentally at peace. A healthy glow comes from daily self-love, not expensive cosmetics. 4. Insurance policies that no longer fit your life. When you were younger, you may have needed various types of insurance, but now it's time to review your policies carefully. Some may no longer be relevant, or you might be overpaying. Consult with a trusted advisor to optimize your expenses and only keep the coverage that truly matches your current health and lifestyle needs. 5. Memberships you rarely use. Maybe you once joined a gym, a club, or signed up for entertainment services that you no longer enjoy or visit. Don't let these recurring fees quietly drain your wallet. Say goodbye to commitments that no longer serve you. Instead, explore free or low-cost options like walking in the park, visiting the library, or enjoying heartfelt conversations with friends. 6. Unnecessary home decor. After years of collecting, your home might already feel full. Adding more decorative items, figurines, paintings, vases can clutter your space and make cleaning harder. Keep only the pieces that hold true meaning and memories. Let go of the rest. A tidy, breathable space will bring your mind a sense of peace and clarity. Chapter 7. Expensive gifts for grandkids. Love doesn't have to come with a price tag. Many older adults tend to overspend on fancy gifts for their grandchildren, when in truth, what the kids crave most is time and attention. Instead of toys, offer your stories. Instead of gadgets, offer your presence. A memory shared can mean more than anything bought from a store. 8. Supplements of unclear origin. As we age, we naturally care more about our health, but that also makes us vulnerable to miracle health claims. Before buying any supplements, consult your doctor and check the ingredients and origin. Don't waste money or risk your health on unverified promises. 9. Items bought just because they're on sale. Flashy discounts can tempt you to buy things you don't truly need. No matter how cheap it is, if you won't use it, it's still a waste. Before purchasing, ask yourself, do I really need this? And would I buy it at full price? Learning to say no to tempting but unnecessary items is a key step in smart money management after 60. Now is the time to not just reflect, but to begin taking action. Changing your spending habits after 60 isn't just about money. It's a spiritual journey. It's about awakening. When you dare to look back at how you've lived, what you've bought, accumulated, and consumed, you begin to see the true roots of your restlessness and the hidden seeds of your peace. That awareness is what will guide you to a way of life that's not only more frugal, but more mindful, more intentional. You already know the 9 things you could stop buying, but what would happen if you truly acted on them? What if you really let go of that trendy outfit you never wear, that phone you don't need, that insurance plan that no longer fits your life, and all those unconscious purchases made on impulse? The answer is not just that you'd save a few dollars. The real reward is something much deeper, a quiet but powerful transformation within. You'll find yourself breathing a little slower. Your eyes will stop chasing flashy sale signs. Your hands won't twitch at the sight of the next hot item. And in that stillness, something beautiful happens. You start living with awareness. You're no longer spending out of fear of missing out. You're no longer shopping to fill a void. You begin to live with purpose, with intention, and most of all, with love for yourself. Spending less doesn't make you poor. It makes you rich in all the right ways. Rich in peace, rich in time, rich in genuine connection. With the space and clarity you've created, you might finally learn something new. Write in a journal. I'll grow a small plant on the windowsill. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. Or simply sit quietly and listen to your heart. These seemingly simple acts can revive your soul in ways no object ever could. Transformation begins with small, quiet steps. Imagine waking up to a clean, open room, not stuffed with unused items but filled with breathing space. Imagine opening your closet and seeing only the clothes you truly love and wear. Picking up your phone and not being flooded by tempting ads, but instead using it to connect with someone who matters. These are small acts, but done regularly. They shape a life that's no longer cluttered by things you don't need. It's a life of stillness, clarity, and purpose. And it all begins the moment you let go. Letting go lightens the soul. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means returning to what really matters. It's the courage to say, I don't need more, I need less, but better. It's choosing comfort and meaning over showiness. It's canceling the subscription you forgot you had. It's walking away from a good deal, not because you couldn't afford it, but because you didn't need it. That's when you begin to curate your life, not just live it. Everything you keep, from objects to people to habits, is there because it adds value to your soul. You're no longer living to gather, but to experience, not to chase, but to cherish. Conscious living leads to true wealth. Some people think spending less makes you poor. The truth is, it makes you rich in the wisest way. When you spend less, you don't just keep your money, you keep your time, your energy, your awareness. And with that newfound space, you can finally pick up that long-lost hobby. Tend to a garden that feeds both body and soul. Write the stories of your life for the next generation. I'll call someone just to say, I miss you. Or watch the sunlight filter through the window and know that peace is real and it's here. No object in a store can give you that feeling. Decisive action doesn't have to be dramatic, just consistent. You don't need to make radical changes overnight. You don't need to sell all your things and live like a monk. True transformation comes from small, firm decisions repeated daily. Saying no to that tempting limited time sale. Choosing to express love through presence, not presence. Clearing out that drawer full of things you haven't touched in years and whispering, thank you, now I let you go. That's what decisive action looks like. Quiet, simple, but powerful. You don't live with less because you lack, but because you finally know what's enough. When you know what truly matters, you're no longer shaken by what you don't have. When you found your definition of enough, you naturally start living a life that's tidy, focused, and deeply fulfilling. You no longer live to accumulate, you live to be present. And that, my friend, is the real turning point. Turning 60 isn't the end of the road and it's a peak. You've climbed the steepest parts. Now you can look back with wisdom and forward with grace. You'll realize that the years ahead aren't what's left of your life. They're the most distilled, refined, meaningful years you've ever had. This is your time to live for you. You no longer have to prove anything. You no longer have to fit in. You no longer need to carry the weight of everyone else's expectations. Now is your time to live with truth, live with intention, and live freely. Like Gabi. You don't need more to feel happy. You just need less of what no longer serves you. And in that simplicity, you'll find a richness far greater than anything money could ever buy, the peace of mind that comes from living true to yourself. By now, you've walked through more than just a list of what not to buy. You've opened a new door, a quieter one that doesn't shout for your attention, but instead invites you inward. You've looked at your habits, your past, your closets, your shelves, your bank statements, and perhaps even your heart. And somewhere along the way, something softened. A voice inside you whispered, "There's more to life than things." And you listened. Now comes the most important part of this journey, the part where you don't just let go, but step fully into what's next. Because when you finally release what no longer serves you, life has a way of filling that space with something far more powerful: presence, purpose, and peace. Your life is not winding down, it's deepening. Let's set one thing straight. Growing older doesn't mean fading out. It doesn't mean you've passed your prime or lost your place. Quite the opposite. These years right here, right now, are not the leftovers of your youth. They are the harvest, the reward, the summit. You have nothing left to prove. You've raised children. You've worked hard. You've loved deeply, lost bravely, and survived more than most will ever know. You've lived enough life to know that happiness can't be bought, and that the most valuable things in this world can't be measured in price tags, status, or square footage. They are measured in laughter that echoes long after the moment has passed, the warmth of a memory that brings tears to your eyes, the stillness of early morning light filtering through the curtains, the joy of knowing yourself finally and fully. The richest moments are the simplest ones. It's funny how we spend so much of life chasing more stuff, more status, more success, only to discover later that less is often where the gold is hidden. Think back, when was the last time you truly felt at peace? I mean that deep, unshakable peace that settles into your bones. Chances are it wasn't in a shopping mall. It wasn't holding the latest gadget. It probably wasn't even during a planned vacation. It was in a fleeting moment, a quiet evening with someone you love, a deep breath after a hard day, a walk in the park as golden leaves danced around your feet. That's the kind of wealth this stage of life can offer if you let it. You're not starting over, you're starting right. Maybe part of you wonders, is it too late to change? Have I spent too much, wasted too much, missed my chance? No, you haven't missed anything, because you're not starting over, you're starting right, with more clarity, more self-awareness, more freedom than ever before. There's no age limit on renewal. There's no expiration date on becoming who you were always meant to be. You can start fresh in your 60s, in your 70s, even in your 80s. The world may tell you you're slowing down, but your soul knows you're slowing down to listen, to feel, to live deeper. That's not the end of anything. That's the beginning of a more meaningful chapter. Reconnect with what's real now is the time to reconnect with nature, with your body, with people who truly matter, and most importantly, with yourself. This isn't about isolation, it's about intentional connection. Reach out to old friends, not to rekindle the past, but to honor the roots that shaped you. Sit with your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, not to impress them, but to be with them. To listen, to share your stories, to hold space. Let yourself be present for the people who love you, not for what you buy, but for who you are, because that's what they'll remember. Not the gifts, the gadgets, the grand gestures, but the feeling of you, the calm in your voice, the way your eyes lit up when they spoke, the way you made them feel safe, seen, and valued. That is the legacy you're building now, a home filled with light, not clutter. Picture this. You walk into your living room, and instead of shelves overflowing with things, you see open space, light, air. On the wall hangs one photo that brings you joy. On the table, a book you love. Beside your favorite chair, a warm cup of tea, and the soft hum of your thoughts returning home. This is not less. This is luxury. And it's not something you buy, it's something you choose. You get to curate your life like an artist arranges a canvas, with intention, with meaning, with care. You don't need to hold on to things out of guilt or fear. You can let go with gratitude, and in doing so, make room for what really matters. Build a rhythm that honors your soul. Without the noise of consumerism and pressure, you can finally hear your natural rhythm. You might find that you love slow mornings, that writing in a notebook calms your heart, that sipping tea on the porch feels more luxurious than any designer label ever could. That rhythm, that's your essence speaking to you. Honor it. You don't need to schedule every moment or fill every gap. Some of the most healing parts of life happen when we allow space to just be. What you leave behind is not things, but energy. Someday, many years from now, someone will sit in your chair. They'll look at your journals, your photos, maybe even wear your favorite scarf or hold your teacup. They won't say she had the newest phone, or he always got the best deals. They'll say she was peaceful, he was kind. They made me feel like everything was going to be okay. That's the real inheritance, the invisible wealth. You're planting it now with every mindful decision, every conscious dollar spent, every time you choose presence over pressure. Let this be the season of wholeness. So take a breath. Look around your life, not with judgment, but with gentle curiosity. Ask, does this bring me joy? Does this serve who I am now? Does this reflect the peace I'm creating within? And then, with no fear, no guilt, and no rush, begin to let go. Let this be the season where you don't seek more, but find more in less. Let this be the season where you stop chasing and start arriving. Let this be the season where you don't carry the world, but carry yourself with grace, with love, with lightness. Because now you know you don't need more to live a rich life. You just need to live more intentionally with clarity, courage, and compassion. And if this message touched something in your heart today, don't let it end here. Comment 1 if you feel inspired to make a change, and 0 if you're still thinking it over. Either way, you're welcome here. Subscribe for more peaceful reflections like this, because the journey to a more meaningful life doesn't happen all at once. It begins with one mindful step. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming exciting videos.